Hypogonadism. Dude, that even sounds bad. You know what? It makes me like want to fight or something to prove my manhood.
Hold my poodle. Hey, yo, what's up? Y'all got a problem?
Well, if you are suffering from low testosterone, which is hypogonadism, guess what? Today is for you, because we're going to talk about the benefits of testosterone replacement therapy and what does it look like if I have low T. That's today on your Quick Hitter. So the number one question I get from guys is, Jeff, should I be on testosterone? Now, I'm going to stop right here and tell you, if you're 20 years old, unless you're medically diagnosed with something like dwarfism or something that you've been diagnosed with, the chances that you need testosterone are very, very low, okay? You really don't need it. But if you're over the age of 35, because of the foods that we eat now are so induced with drugs, I believe, and studies have proven and shown that men's testosterone levels have dropped over the years. And it really messes us up. So if you are having some of the symptoms that we're going to talk about today, I want to encourage you to get to your doctor. I am not a doctor, and I'm not telling you or encouraging you to go get testosterone from an illegal source. What I am telling you is go to your doctor and get testosterone therapy, or at least get checked out to find out if you need it. Because the number one thing it does is it improves your quality of life. Men with low testosterone levels, they most of the time experience symptoms like fatigue and low energy, decreased libido, mood swings. Man, you almost like a girl getting ready to go on her period. I mean, you can find yourself in that type of mentality. And if you really, the big sign for us guys is if you don't have any sexual libido, man, anything going on in the bedroom, then guess what? It's a pretty good sign that you have low T. Testosterone replacement just gives you this overall feeling of well-being, and it gives you a good quality of life. Now, we're not talking about the extremes of bodybuilders, okay? And we'll talk about that in a little bit. What I'm talking about is how testosterone, when it is provided by a medical provider, and it is in the proper amounts, it will give you a sense of well-being and quality of life. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, okay? The second thing that TRT does is it enhances your sexual function. If you're over 50 especially, you are probably going to need TRT, especially if you're like a guy like me who has burned his body out on testosterone for all those years. Now, you may be asking me, Jeff, are you on TRT? Well, I'm going to answer all of that in just a little bit, and I'm going to tell you why the TRT thing is also a big lie in the bodybuilding community. We'll get to that in a minute. But the benefits of TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, is it enhances your sexual function. Testosterone, you know, is a crucial hormone for male sexual function, and it includes your libido. And if you are low in your testosterone, you're not going to have any sexual desire. And this can really mess up your marriage, your relationships. I remember when I was really close to a show, the last probably 2 months, man, my libido would go through the floor, and my wife would worry, you know, was she not attractive? And if you've seen my wife, I have a beautiful wife. I mean, she's like something out of a magazine, and I'm going to be honest, I outkicked my coverage, okay, on this one. So I understand that. But it helps in your sexual function. It enhances that. It gives you back that libido. It gives you back that sexual drive, that arousal. And a lot of times it clears up the one thing most guys don't want to talk about, erectile dysfunction. Yeah, it's a real thing. We all know it. And sometimes no matter how much Cialis you take, it's not going to help if you're really dealing with low T. So one of the things that we notice when we see bodybuilders that I would coach is they would really struggle in this sexual arena because they were on so many different types of drugs. They were on this type of drug for this, they were on this type of drug to mitigate the effects of this drug, and so we could never really, a lot of times, get their desire or their libido handled because there was too many drugs. And if you are one of those guys, let me tell you something, you need to detox from all of those drugs and just go on a TRT or go on a really good fast and get that stuff cleansed out of your body and start over completely. So that's my personal experience of what I had to do. Now, the third thing it does, and we know this, and this is why everybody takes it, it increases muscle mass. Testosterone is an anabolic hormone, and it supports muscle development. TRT, when combined with your regular exercise, guys, it will help you in strength training, and it helps you regain muscle. Guys, people say, oh, you can't gain muscle after 50 years old. That is not true. You can't gain muscle after 40. That is not true. I had a client that was 63 years old, and we put 13 pounds of stage muscle on this guy in 1 year. So testosterone, we know, is great for you. But we also know in its abuses, it can really be bad for you. It can just about destroy you, okay? So it's super important to make sure, again, that you're seeing your doctor to find out if you truly have low T. And if you do, then your doctor will prescribe it. Now, the fourth thing is bone health. Guys, testosterone plays a huge role in maintaining your bone density. I had a problem with two of my back molars back here, and I was eating a protein bar, and when I was a kid, both of these back molars were bad, and it was just, I have soft teeth, and so both molars had to have a lot of dental work done to them. One day when we were out traveling, I was eating a protein bar and this back tooth just exploded. And I was like, oh man, well thankfully it was dead, all the nerves were dead. And so I started chewing on the other side and the other side exploded. So I had what literally felt like sharp glass in my mouth on both sides, had to go get them both surgically removed. And now I'm getting implants in them. You say, why are you telling me that? Well, when I went to the dentist to get these implants done, she started drilling into my jaw, and as she was drilling in, the drill kept bogging down. And it would get stuck in my jaw. And here she is, she's got somebody holding my chest down, and she's yanking on this drill, trying to get it out of my jaw. And she looked at me and she goes, I gotta stop. I gotta go get a more powerful drill. Your jaw, your bones are so hard, so dense. She goes, I need a better drill. And so it took a long time to get those things drilled out because she said my bone density was so good. Now, I attribute that to a lot of testosterone. And again, I'm not telling you to do what I did. I was way overboard. But men with low testosterone levels, you are, listen, you are at risk, believe it or not, for osteoporosis and fractures in your bones. Now, that's usually associated with women. But guys with low T, you are really going to find yourself fragile in the future. So to me, every guy over 35, as long as your doctor says you have low T, I think you should be on testosterone. That's my opinion. Now, the fifth thing is your mental health. Guys, there is no secret that testosterone gives you a sense of overall well-being. It makes you feel like a man again, right? I mean, you feel good. You feel like, man, I can conquer the world. And there's nothing worse than you or I, any guy that feels like you don't measure up anymore, whether it's in life or the bedroom with your spouse, you know, that type of thing. It really gives you a bad feeling. And so what happens is you find yourself getting depressed and anxious and all of those kind of symptoms that come from low testosterone. And so a lot of men are going to experience an improvement in your mood. It'll actually reduce your irritability, and it will actually enhance your cognitive function. In other words, your thinking. With TRT, adequate testosterone levels are associated with better mental well-being. Guys, that's huge. So if you find yourself cloudy and foggy and fatigued, you find yourself keep dealing with depression, guys, go get your hormone levels checked. Now again, we are not talking about an abuse of testosterone. We're talking about what you need to get you up to proper levels to where you can function again. And what a wonderful thing medical science is, right? Because years ago, guys didn't have this opportunity. Now, let me answer another elephant in the room, because a lot of you guys are Christians as well, and you follow me because I'm also a born-again Christian. Is it wrong for you to take testosterone? The answer is no. Okay, and you say, why is that? Well, if you are using it for the medical purposes that it's used for, then there's nothing wrong with that. If you're obtaining it legally through your doctor, there's nothing wrong with that. The abuse of it is what makes it wrong for us, okay? I can abuse ibuprofen. Now, is ibuprofen wrong? No. But if ibuprofen was a controlled substance, I would have to go get it to the doctor so it would actually be okay and it would not be wrong for me to use it. But is ibuprofen wrong? No. If it's in its proper use, it's just fine. Now, I can use ibuprofen enough to where it'll destroy my liver. So anything that is good can be used for nefarious purposes, okay? So that's super important. Now, let me get to the big lie about bodybuilders, and this is probably what you've been waiting for, but this is what I want to tell you. The lie amongst bodybuilders is they are on TRT. Now, I'm talking about even guys that have retired out of bodybuilding, like we have. All right? Now, you have to understand, on my cruise, there were times where I was at 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams a week of testosterone just on a weekly basis. And when I got myself right with God in 2019, I realized, man, I just can't come off cold turkey. I have to really decline that dosage until I'm on a level where I can function. And it took me a long time. Now, I already know in the comments below, a bunch of you are going to call me all kinds of names and say I'm a liar and all this other stuff. But I'm just telling you, I titrated my dosages down to where I was okay. Now, did I do it fast enough? I don't know, okay? But I did it in the time frame that I felt like that I would be able to function. So for a long time, I was at 500 milligrams a week of testosterone. Then I went to 350. Believe it or not, I'm really proud of myself that I am right now at 125 milligrams of testosterone cypionate a week. That is huge for me. I mean, not only that, it's huge for my health. And here's the problem. The problem is when you can't let it go. And most bodybuilders I know have this mental trap that goes on because we have so much body dysmorphia, we can't allow ourselves to shrink down. It's really hard on us on our mentality. Most guys are used to being one of the biggest guys in the room. Guys, there was never a gym that I went into at 300 plus pounds that I wasn't the biggest guy in the room. I'm only 5'8". So when I walked in, it was like the gorilla walked in. Now you say, Jeff, you're just being proud. No, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not saying it's right. What I'm telling you is you get into this mentality where you have to be the biggest guy in the room, or you have to be Superman, or you have to feel like you feel invincible when you're in the gym or in life, and that drug becomes literally a mental addiction for you. Now, you can get off of that drug. The problem is in your head. Your brain space doesn't want to get off of it, because once it starts seeing the shrinking down of that physique in the mirror, what happens? Man, you want to bounce back. You want to go, I mean, you start going, wait a minute, I got to increase my dose. I'm shrinking here. And so when I look at guys that are retired, and I am not judging them, I have been there. I'm not judging them. But when I look at guys that are retired, Jay Cutler, Seth Feroce, a lot of the other guys, I look at them and I go, I don't think they're on true TRT. Guys, I was not on true TRT. I would tell people, hey, I'm on TRT. But TRT for me was 500 milligrams because I couldn't get below that or I felt like garbage. It has taken me a long time to get down to 125 milligrams. And honestly, I'm supposed to be at 100 milligrams a week. I will get there. And so the lie of TRT is not that it's not good for you. The lie is in the temptation to use more of it. Because if a little makes me feel this good, then a lot of it is going to make me feel a lot better. Well, guess what? A lot of it is going to produce a lot of health problems, cardiovascular issues. You are going to really be at risk for strokes, heart attacks, clogging your arteries up with bad cholesterol. I mean, your prostate's going to swell. Your liver values are going to be off and your liver's going to swell. You are really at risk for a lot of other problems, especially as you get older. If you are following me or if you are subscribed to this channel and you're an older guy, I'm telling you now, get off of all of that stuff and get to your doctor, get checked out, get cleaned up, and then go on TRT. Believe it or not, you will find out you don't need all the other stuff. I still run between 240 and 250 pounds, and I breathe a lot better. I can actually breathe, man. I can or I can tie my shoes, and I don't feel like I've done an hour of cardio. So there you go. If you want to get TRT, go to your doctor. If you're experiencing any of these things, go to your doctor. This hopefully will help you and answer the question that I get more times a week than I can possibly answer. I hope this has helped you. Now, I'm going to ask you to do something for me. I really need you to please start commenting in this video below. I need you to like and subscribe and share this video. We went from between 600 or 500 to 700 views an hour down to right now we're running about 60 views an hour. The reason being is we had a video that got taken down because of its content. Said it was hate speech, which it was not. So I believe that we are being throttled, and I'm asking you, would you please like, subscribe, share, and when you comment, it pushes this out to more people, and the algorithm can't stop it, okay? So I really need you to do that. Thank you guys again for coming in. Love every one of you. That is today's Quick Hitter.